Well, as you can see, I'm back home, and I thought that I would go over this month's numbers so far to this date. I guess we're moving into week 3 of this month. Let's see, the month so far has it's actually the 4th week, but I've only got 2 active weeks on the board here. So the first load I didn't pick up until April the 7th. Then I picked up one on April 8th, April 10th, and April the 11th. The first one came out of Augusta, went to Charleston, South Carolina, $900. That load paid $5.45 a mile on 165 miles, and I had a 168-mile deadhead. So the total was 370 miles for $2.43 a mile. The next load was on the 8th, the next day. I picked up a load out of Georgetown, South Carolina, went out to Texas for $2,900, got $2.54 a mile on that one on 1,140 miles, 63-mile deadhead, so it paid $2.38 a mile. The next load was on the 10th, 2 days later, picked up in Cypress, Texas, took it to Ragley, Louisiana. I got $1,200 on 175 miles, which was $6.86 a mile, with a 103-mile deadhead, so it put me at 298 total all-in miles, and that paid $4.03 with my deadhead. The next one I picked up on the 11th. I picked it up in Golden Meadow, Louisiana. That was down there on the peninsula, very far south of New Orleans. Took it to Chesapeake, and that was just this last weekend. Now that load paid $31.72 on 1,113 loaded miles, which came out to $1.85. I had the deadhead 257 miles to go get it, which put me at 1,425 miles. Those are hubometer readings, and that came to $2.23 a mile. So that finished the week out over there at $8,172. And right there, if you click this right here, it shows you I'm taking the ending odometer right here, subtracting it from the previous week's ending odometer, and that comes out to $2.47 a mile for the whole week. Now last week, I started my week in Virginia Beach, and that was on a Monday. I picked it up in Virginia Beach and took it to St. Louis. I got $2,800, and actually I only got $2,500. I had to force the broker to give me another $300. Well, I tried to get $650. I'll get into that in a minute. But it was 936 miles. I had a 29-mile deadhead to go get it. That was actual odometer readings. And that came to 992 miles for the run with the deadhead. They put me at $2.82 a mile, which was $2.82 a mile, 992 miles. Then I picked up a load last Thursday in Alton, Illinois, and brought it back to my hometown here, and I got $1,600 on 725 miles with a 29-mile deadhead on that one as well. How ironic, the 2 back-to-back was exactly 29 miles deadhead. So it paid $221 on the loaded miles. With the deadhead, it was $673, which brought me down to $2.10 a mile. So the 2 loads combined, this is where I'm at right now, $2.51 to the hub. So if you're kind of curious about what I've done for the month so far, I can click this little box here, and this is the way I fill out these little yellow columns up here. This is the way this is the end of the month. We're not at the end of the month, but I can gauge where I'm at right now. So I can come up here and hit auto sum, and I can sum up all the loads over here that I've done and hit enter. Then I can hit equals. So I want to calculate the ending odometer where I just delivered subtract that from the odometer of ending of last month. Press enter, so I've got 5,066 miles. Then you hit equals, take the total amount that I've made, divide that by how many miles I've driven. So I'm at $2.48 right now to the hub for the month so far. And the month isn't finished, it's only the 21st. And one other thing that you can kind of gauge here is over here on reports. This is what I've done month per month. In January, my total income was $96.50. And you can actually tab over here and you can see right there it matches $96.50. The next month was $14,400, $14,400. The next month was $19,100, $19,100, and $12,572, $12,572. So that's a checks and balances from my accounting program to my spreadsheet. And what it also shows is all of my expenses for the month. So right here for the month, I've got $17,996, and everything is pretty much calculated. Over this past weekend, I've updated everything. Everything's put in. I've got just a tad under $18,000 profit. So if you tab back over here and go to the top, and I can type in, what did I just say that number was? 17,796. Might as well, 17,976. 17,976, enter, and make sure that number is also calculated. It is. And my total mileage is going to be right here. So what you want to do here is to click this right there, enter. So far this year, right now, I've cleared 55,722 bucks. I've netted just a tad under 18,000. I've driven 25,106 miles to the hub, and I've netted 72 cents to me as a driver. And my cost of operation, based off of these numbers over here, that $37,745 is what I've spent so far operating my truck. And these are the categories over here: fuel, truck payment, insurance, tags, phone and internet, meals. So you can see for January I spent $211. February I spent $109. Last month I spent $434. I didn't bring too much food from the house that month. Most of the time I bring food from the house and I eat out of the truck. But it don't take long to rack up a bill when you're spending $20 a day, $30 a day, eating out at a truck stop 5, 6, 7 days a week, and you're on the road for 3 weeks at a time. And, you know, I know you can't count those things as expenses, but for me, that's money that I'm not bringing home. So that's money that I calculate as my operating costs because I got to eat on the road. That would be it's just the way I do it. I mean, if you want to sit there and subtract the meals out of it, okay, so I've got $681. I mean, that's minuscule if you divide that into the, it might be half a penny a mile or something. I'm not going to sit here and calculate it, but I've got meals, I've got dues and subscriptions, I've got my maintenance on my trailer, I've got trucking fees, which trucking fees is just things like the load boards and fuel cards that they charge me, maybe Landstar's little trucking fee that they charge me under whatever crap they do. You know how they do you with their little $3.75. I got miscellaneous expenses, which ain't very much. I didn't have any in February or March. Over dimension permits, I only did one oversized load this year. I spent $180. Tolls, I only had February. I had a few $158 in tolls in March. Scales, I've only done 2 scale tickets this year, and that's because somebody required me to have an empty and loaded scale ticket. That's the only reason I scaled it. And transportation, I forget what I needed something, but more than likely transportation is usually an Uber ride. Maybe I had to go somewhere to do something, pick up a part. I don't remember where that was, see where I was even at. Uber Eats. So there you go right there. That's probably should go under meals. And I'm going to transfer that right now to meals. closed. So now I just transferred that over to meals because it was something I probably ordered, probably the food with the delivery cost. And I don't know why, but it got somehow got stuffed in that category. So now I have nothing under transportation. Tires, I spent tires on truck 33. What the heck was that? Valve stem. Okay, that's when I had to go down to the truck stop. I had a leaking valve stem on my trailer. I think I was making a video about that about 2 months ago. And I had to go buy one of those little valve stem kits at the truck stop. And I replaced it myself. So that's about it. I mean, that's my expenses. I mean, in January, I had a negative of $308. February, I did $4,600 to the good. March, I did $8,200 to the good. And so far this month, I've done $5,300 to the good. And I mentioned earlier that I was talking about brokers. And I guess it was last Monday. I'll tell you that story. Well, I could tell that you jabronis were, about half of you were asleep already. So I moved to a more pleasing location. So I said I was going to tell a story about a broker. So here's what happened last Monday. I went into, Monday started out like any other day. You know, I slept out on the street in front of the customer. 6:30 in the morning, I get a tap on the door. Bring your truck on in, we'll unload you. I'm like, cool. Well, I woke up on the road this morning. I was going to get up at 7. I think they came in at 6. At 6:30, they were tapping on the door. I got up, got dressed, made some coffee, then pulled in at 7:15 right now, and I'm already empty. By 7:10, 7:15, I was already empty. I pulled back out of the facility, back out onto the street, got on the computer, started opening load board up, looking for loads.
Please press 1 for dispatch, 2 for carrier set. This call is being recorded.
Made several calls, took a few calls in. I was laying down here, taking a break, and my phone rings. Logistics just called. I'm going to go pick a load up right here at Virginia Beach. Not too far from here. It's going to St. Louis, Missouri, 920 miles. I got $2,500 on it. Let's go get it done. He said, I asked him also what it was. He said it was 500 pounds. So I'm kind of curious. Let me see what it says on the paperwork. He already sent me the bill of lading here. It's freight of all kinds. Step deck, weight 550 pounds, Virginia Beach. Doesn't have anything. I didn't even ask him what it was. Now the broker says to me, you need to be there by 10 o'clock. How far are you away? I said, man, I'm 25, 30 miles away. I said, if you give me the load right now, I can be on over there and pick it up. So it was a load going from Virginia Beach to St. Louis, Missouri. Then he asked me what I wanted on the load. I said, if you give me 25. I think it was 920 miles. And he said, he put me on hold. He came back and said, all right, the load's yours. But I had to fill out a new carrier packet and start the rigmarole. Got all that done. I shot over to the customer. I got there at 9:45. Let's see how we get in here. Uh-oh, they got a truck in here already. Oh man, I got several trucks in here. A lot of stuff going on. By 11 o'clock, 11:30, I sent the broker a message saying, hey, I'm still here. I'm not loaded yet. And I think I left a message at that. But at that point, I was already detecting that I was not going to get loaded. They were fixed to go to lunch at noon. They still had 3 trucks in the facility. And I was trying my best. I just knew it was going to be a long day. This is a sign place. They make signs like Cadillac, Buick, Ford, all those kind of places. Well, what time is it here? Got some news. It's not even 11 o'clock yet. It's 10:48. And he just told me it's probably going to be around 2 o'clock before they get to me. He said he's got to get these trucks out of here. So I guess he's got finished whatever doing over here, this guy over here, and there's another dry van right back there behind this guy. And then he said by the time he gets done with all that, he said it's going to be lunchtime for him. And then by the time they get back from lunch, they got to move some stuff around on the inside. And then he said, I'm just letting you know it's probably going to be around 2 o'clock. It was just a long day. Boy, oh boy. It's one of these days, man. The Northeast, the East Coast. So I got here at 9:45 after I booked this load. And they told me that it was going to be a little bit of time. They said, you know, so I gave them the 2. Here it is now, almost 3. I'm still sitting out here in the parking lot. There's an Averitt truck of it. And I guess maybe that's the problem. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 other dry vans. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 other dry vans out here right now. 4 more dry vans. All I know is I'm still sitting here. I just called the broker and told him. And I get that same, I don't know, it's not my load. I can send a message to the broker. I'm sorry for your mix-up. You know, but I just let him know straight up that I may not be there on Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. because of this right here. It's almost 1,000 miles, and I'm not going to try to cram in no 500 miles of driving today. You know, when I get loaded, I'm gonna drive to about 7 o'clock, maybe 7:30, and I'm done for the day. That was the whole point of this story. Is it's a long day. Look at this out here. 2 hot shots now. They done loaded about 3 other trucks in front of me. Got another truck in the door over there. And my stuff, I think, is on the other side of those little those red signs up there. I got 2 white boxes over there to the right hand side, and they told me to come over here and park right here, and they're going to load me in a minute. I always feel like I'm in the wrong business, because these guys, they'll go home at 5 o'clock. They'll waste my whole day, and then they want me to get started at 6 o'clock and run all night. And I done been up since 6:30 this morning when the customer came out there and knocked on my door. Well, I left. I pulled out of the parking lot. I was talking to one of those other drivers in there, one of those little hotshot guys. And he said he had to be in Kansas by tomorrow. And he was talking to his dispatch. I said, well, I've been trying to call logistics for like 2 hours. They're not answering the phone. I got him to answer the phone one time, and he was a dummy, didn't know what was going on. This other lady just called, and then she transferred me to the account manager. Then it went to voicemail. My opinion is this. They're not going to have me by the short hairs. I've already lost a day anyway. Why not just get another load tomorrow? I know what you're saying. You're already here, you wasted the whole day. Well, compensate me for the day and you still got your truck. When you start giving a crap about me, and it's monetary. I'm here for me to move freight efficiently and profitability, not to be jerked around. So good luck with your load and your customer. I'm gonna try it one more time. Let me give this guy one more call.
Thank you for your freight.
I've been called him like 4 times before I decided to leave. It's only 4 o'clock Eastern time too, so that ain't like nobody should be left the office yet. Yep. So they don't care. They don't care. Call us if you got any problems. Well, I got a problem, and you're not answering the phone. Hey, this is Billy over here at Higbee Transport.
Hey Billy, how can I help you?
Yeah, I've got y'all's load over here, and I've been here since 9 9:30, 9:45 this morning, and I'm still not loaded. So,
what's your load?
my load number is 201. Hold on a minute, somebody else from your office calling. Hello, it's Billy.
Hey, Billy. Well, how you doing, sir?
Hey, pretty good. I was talking to somebody else on the other line. Me hang up from them?
It doesn't matter. I'm the account manager on this one that you're hanging out there in Virginia Beach.
Yeah, hold on, man. Let me get rid of the other guy then. You're the guy I need to talk to.
Yep.
Well, I think he hung up.
Okay. All right. So these are my loads. I've gotten with the customer once Alejandro got with me as far as your wait time. They do pay detention, so just make sure you keep track of your in and out times. And
Well,
you're not gonna be held liable.
it's been all day. The problem is I'm going to leave unless I can just get an updated rate con before I even get loaded.
I mean, so I guess I don't understand why you would be like that. I mean, I understand you. I'm telling you, and this phone call is recorded.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
going to pay you detention.
But you don't say how
No.
much. I mean, tomorrow you'll say, well, the customer only authorized $50 or $100, but you know that don't compensate my time for the day, and so I need a day's pay on it. When I feel like it's like $650 for a day. I've been here all day.
$650.
Yeah, it's step deck. I can go haul good paying freight and make more than that in a day.
Okay, so you would just abandon the load.
I'm not abandoning it. I mean, you're not paying detention on the load.
I am going to pay detention on the load, but I don't think $650.
Well,
is
that's
worth-
my rate.
I mean,
That's my rate. I'm not
you
abandoning
don't
it.
set the rate.
I do set the rate.
Yeah,
It's my business.
Which is what you're threatening to do, and then now, I mean, I don't think I really don't understand. Like, you can't come at me with $650.
Well, you know how much it costs to operate? I've been doing this for 13 years. I'm trying not to argue and be. I'm just a little bit irate because I've been here all day and I know how the game goes. But it cost me $480 a day. Now I need $200 for my time. That's where the $680 comes in at.
Yeah, but you're still doing the load, right?
Yeah, but I
still
lost
getting paid
today.
off of the load.
Now I got to drive about 2 hours. I got to shut down. Instead of finishing tomorrow, it's going to be Wednesday before I'm finished. You understand? I can't drive all night to make up for somebody's incompetence.
Right.
Yeah.
And I get that. So I want to know when they sold you this load here, what day did they sell you on delivery? Because I'm looking at a delivery date of the 16th, which is Wednesday.
Exactly. Wednesday morning. So I was going to drive today and tomorrow, 500
Yeah.
miles today,
Yeah.
500 miles on tomorrow, and deliver on Wednesday
Yeah.
morning. So now it's going to be late
Okay.
Wednesday afternoon. It's going to be sometime after Wednesday afternoon.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So I've
Well, I
lost
tell you what I
lost
can do
Monday.
is these are I understand that it happens. I mean, I guess being doing this for 13 years, like I mean, I'm assuming you ran into delays more often than once. Am I correct in that statement?
And I get often paid. When I don't, then I feel like I'm being cheated. And I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to put an end.
Right. I mean, I can tell you what I'll do right now. I'll authorize $300, so it'll be at $2,800 on this. Because we paid you $25, I'll authorize $300, so I'll send over a rate confirmation for an additional $300 just right off the get. Because hey, that's not even me going to the customer right now.
Okay.
Okay. But I can just do that, right? Because it's my account and I want to take care of my customer since you're already there. I'm going to look like a fool to my customer. You're there and then you decide, oh, I'm just going to leave this load hanging high and dry. So I will authorize an additional $300 just to keep you there. Now, when it comes to as far as full time for detention, make sure you have your in and your out times, okay? And then I will go back to the customer and get additional compensation for you. $300 is just showing good faith.
All right. I can work with it. I can work with that.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be an asshole. I've been doing this for a long.
No, I get it. It's one of those things. Customer tells us loading time. We send you in at that loading time, and for whatever reason, they are either short-handed. I don't know. She really didn't elaborate on it. She just said, "Hey, we're going to get to them. Have them be patient." Obviously, we'll take care of detention, and we'll go from there. So, in a good faith, I will go ahead and take care of the additional. I'll go ahead and send you over a rate confirmation for the additional $300. That's to keep you there, and then, like I said, I can only do what I can only go to the customer and say, hey, he's been there, he's gonna wait. I mean, I can't load you. You know what
I understand.
mean?
I understand. I just you got to see from my point of view.
Free, man.
Yeah,
I get it.
exactly. Yeah.
I'm with you 100%. You know, I did it a little bit. I'm a young guy. Did it a little bit back in the day. I wouldn't say back in the day because I'm really not that old, but I have done trucking before. I wasn't an owner-op. I was a company driver, but still, I get where you're coming from. I understand. You know, hurry up and wait, as I always was always advised. You know, hurry up and wait. Get there right now and then wait all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I will go ahead and shoot you over an additional $300, making it 28, and then just keep track of your in and out times. And rest assured.
Well, I backed out of their parking
lot.
lot, so I'm gonna pull back in over there. I appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm here for you. I'm the account manager. Obviously, the other people, they're carrier sales, but this is my account. I'm here for the customer and you.
Well, I was trying. The reason I was a little bit irate is I've been trying to call like for an hour, and nobody was picking up, nobody was answering, and
right. Yeah.
So
I tell you what, I'll give you my direct line here, which rings to, this isn't my cell phone, but it's my office line that rings to my cell phone. If you have any more problems, you can text this line. I will text it back after hours because it's 4:15. I'll probably be here until about 6 o'clock. But if you're still running into problems, you can text it or call it, and I will answer that line.
All right.
So,
we all know the same story. The story is, keep track of your in and out times, put it on your bills, and then you never get paid. So I backed out. I said, you know what? I'm done. I said, unless they cut me a new rate confirmation for today's loss, I'm not picking this load up. I backed out of the facility, pulled back out onto the street, and he's trying to blame me for abandoning the load, making him look bad. I sort of feel bad. I don't like being that way, but I know how things go. And I know that if I don't hold their hand to the fire the way I'm handling the situation, more than likely I'm not going to get paid. So he ends up, telling me, I told him I wanted $650 for the load. And the reason being is because it cost me about $650 a day.
This is from 2013 to the end of last year. It's a full 10 years. My gross expenses for 10 years was $1,585,000. My fuel cost was, right here, the fuel cost is $598,000. So if you take the fuel costs out of my total operation, I'm at $987,500 for the 10 years is what it's costing me to operate my truck without fuel. So when a broker says, okay, well, how much do you need for a day layover? Well, if you break that down, that comes to $375 a day. $374.05 to be exact, but just say $375. I'm gonna round that up to $400 for a good even round number. And that's not no pay to me. So that's what it costs to run my truck on a 10-year average with all the meals, the food on the road, food and meals the same, just everything that's in this report right here. Fuel, permits, tags, phone and internet, DEF for my truck, dues and subscriptions, all these things right here is all included in this report over here for 10 years. So my cost of operation per day is $375.
And let me ask you this, at the end of the day, do you think I got the extra $300 that he was offering to give? Because he said he would send the information. He never called back. He never responded to any more emails. When I got to St. Louis, I had to call like 4 more times to get somebody on the phone because the address they gave me, it was going to a job site, and they gave me an address, and I pulled up and I was like, there was nothing there. There was actually a street before I got there. I should have made a right-hand turn on that street and went a block down. But hey, I went to the address they gave me. And there was actually a point of contact on the bill of lading, but nobody answered on that phone number either. Eventually, I got somebody to answer there on that phone number, and then that's when they told me to come on into the facility. So that was my week, pretty much. Sorry for the long, drawn-out video. I just sort of wanted to tell this story. I had it ready to go earlier in the week, but then I ended up debating whether I wanted to tell that story or not, because it seems like every time I get on here blogging about something, it's always me bitching about something. Truck's broken down, flat tires, broker's not paying, detention, just something, it's always something. And I guess that's maybe the point of my video blogging, is to show the true side of trucking. I mean,
this job will just chew you up and spit you out if you let it. And it still does, even when you try not to let it. Get your blood pressure up to here. So anyway, y'all have a good day. Hopefully I'll make a new video in the next day or so. So see you guys later.